There is a very specific quiet relief you feel when plans get cancelled. You see the text message light up on your screen. Someone is backing out, and instead of feeling disappointed, your shoulders drop. You let out a deep breath. You lock your bedroom door, you turn off the lights, and you sink into the absolute comfort of isolation. The modern world is so overwhelmingly loud, so full of fake interactions and transactional relationships, that simply being left alone feels like the ultimate luxury. You have convinced yourself that isolation is peace. You look at the drama, the betrayal, and the sheer exhaustion of dealing with other human beings, and you decide that the smartest logical move is to just remove yourself from the equation entirely. You stop reaching out. You leave messages on read for days. You build a fortress around your mind and your routine. You tell yourself, I don't need anyone. I am protecting my peace. I am focusing on myself. The internet applauds you for this. They make thousands of videos telling you to cut people off, to thug it out alone, and to embrace the lone wolf mentality. They frame isolation as a superpower. They tell you that needing nobody is the highest form of human evolution. But I want you to be brutally honest with yourself right now. As you sit alone in the dark, staring at this screen, are you actually at peace? Or are you just numb? You have built walls so incredibly high that absolutely nothing can hurt you. But you forgot the fatal flaw of building walls. When nothing can hurt you, nothing can reach you either. You haven't built a sanctuary, you have built a psychological prison. This is not an accident. You have been engineered to feel this way. The modern digital Adonia thrives on hyper-individualism. The economic machine does not want a tight-knit community. It wants atomized, isolated, lonely individuals. Why? Because lonely people are the greatest consumers on the planet. When you are disconnected from a real tribe, from real brotherhood, from the physical warmth of a community, a massive void opens up in your chest, and the machine is standing right there ready to sell you the cure. They sell you parasocial relationships. You watch podcasts for hours to simulate the feeling of having friends in the room. You scroll through thousands of short videos to simulate human interaction. You buy products to fill the silence. You are substituting real, messy, profound human connection for a frictionless digital illusion. You think you are a lone wolf, completely detached from the matrix. But the truth is, by isolating yourself, you have become the matrix's most profitable asset. You are plugged directly into the feed, feeding your dopamine receptors, while your actual human soul, your faltera, is starving to death in the dark. Human beings were not designed to exist as floating data points. We are a communal species. We regulate our nervous systems for the presence of others. When you remove yourself from the pack, your brain eventually turns on itself. The silence stops being peaceful, the silence starts getting loud, your thoughts begin to loop, the anxiety creeps in, the depression takes root. And because you have cut everyone off, there is no one there to pull you out of the water. You are drowning in a glass of your own making. The architects of the modern world want you alone. But there is an entity that wants you alone, even more than they do. 1400 years ago, Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam warned us about the exact psychological state you are in right now. He didn't use the term hyper-individualism. He gave us a metaphor so terrifying and so precise that it shatters the modern illusion completely. He said, you must keep to the jama'ah, the congregation, and beware of separation. For indeed, shaitan is with the solitary person, and he is further away from two. Whoever desires the center of paradise, let him keep to the jama'ah. And then he delivered the absolute fatal blow to the lone wolf myth. He said, the wolf only eats the stray sheep. Read those words again, let them sink into your bones. The wolf only eats the stray sheep. You think you are the lone wolf. You are not. You are the sheep that wandered away from the flock because it thought the flock was too noisy. Shaitan does not attack you when you are standing shoulder to shoulder in prayer. He does not attack you when you are surrounded by righteous friends who remind you of Allah. He waits for you to isolate yourself. He whispers to you that nobody understands you. He convinces you that people are just a burden. He slowly walks you out into the dark, away from the warmth of the ummah, until you are completely alone. And once you are alone in your room, locked in the dark, scrolling endlessly, that is when he strikes. That is when the depression hits. That is when the despair takes over your heart. We look at the state of the world today. We look at the state of the ummah, and we ask why we are so fractured. We ask why we are so weak. It is because the individuals are fractured, we have abandoned the concept of al-ukhwa, true profound brotherhood and sisterhood for the sake of Allah. We treat relationships as transactions. If someone inconveniences us, we ghost them. If someone disagrees with us, we cancel them. We demand absolute perfection from human beings who were created to make mistakes. We have traded the messy, difficult, beautiful reality of community for the sterile, frictionless comfort of our screens. But true peace is not found in an empty room. Look at the structure of our faith. It is designed to physically force you out of isolation. 5 times a day, you are called to leave your house and stand shoulder to shoulder with people you might not even know. Foot to foot, shoulder to shoulder. There are no kings or peasants in those rows. There are no rich or poor. There is only the jama'ah. When you stand in that line, your individual anxiety is absorbed by the collective energy of the believers. You realize that you are not carrying the weight of the world alone. You are a single thread woven into a massive, ancient, unbreakable tapestry. But when you sever that thread, you lose your strength. You become brittle. You break under the slightest pressure. You are pushing everyone away because you are exhausted by the dunya. But the people are not the problem. The detachment from your spiritual community is the problem. You are starving for connection, but you are drinking salt water from your phone, wondering why you are still thirsty. So how do you escape? How do you break out of a prison that you built with your own hands? You have to do the hardest thing in the modern world. You have to be vulnerable. You have to shatter the illusion of the lone wolf. You have to accept that you need the jama'ah and the jama'ah needs you. Pick up the phone, call a friend you haven't spoken to in months. Do not send a text, call them. Hear the frequency of a human voice, reconnect the ties of kinship. Go to the masjid not just to perform a ritual, but to look at the faces of your brothers, to shake their hands, to feel the physical reality of the ummah. It will be uncomfortable at first. The matrix has wired your brain to fear friction. But on the other side of that friction is the only true cure for the modern epidemic of loneliness. Stop romanticizing your isolation. Stop treating your depression like it's an aesthetic. You are not meant to carry the burdens of this life completely alone. You were created with al-fatra that craves connection, community, and submission to the one who created you. The wolf is circling the perimeter of your mind right now. He wants you to stay in that room. He wants you to keep the door locked. He wants you to keep believing that nobody cares about you. Prove him wrong. Unlock the door. Step out of the dark. Rejoin the flock. The silence of isolation will destroy you, but the collective heartbeat of the believers will bring you back to life.